Okay, um, video number 2. Now I will be speaking about how my baptism changed my life in less than 6 months. So I got baptized exactly on the 17th of July of 2024. I don't know when this video is gonna come out, but yes, 2024. I got baptized. It'll probably show a picture over here or over there, or I might even show the video because I do have the video. Maybe it'll play at some point. But yes, I got baptized on the 17th. And the story actually leading up to that baptism is actually a funny one because I got baptized by a very, very, very old friend of mine that I didn't really like. And I haven't actually told him this, but we used to be acquaintances, if I can call it that. I almost said friends. We were not friends in primary school. He had his group, I had my group. Sometimes we did play some sports together. I know I played hand tennis with him once. I played cricket with him one time. Football as well. We also played sometimes during break time. But the main point is he was not my friend. We were not close at all. I never spoke to him. The last time I spoke to him was actually grade 7. And then all of a sudden, so I'm actually studying in Cape Town. And when I'm at Cape Town, I had a church that I was going to, but I didn't really feel like I was growing in that church. So when I came home, I had to obviously do some self-introspection and see actually the path that I was going to take, because I did feel a very strong urge and a very strong unction to get closer to God and to leave my old life behind. And I felt like at that point I needed a church, I needed a vehicle to get me to get closer to God. And at around towards the middle of my mid-year holidays from uni, I was home. I didn't have a church. I was actually just about to message him because he always posts on his story, not story, on his status on WhatsApp that he's always at church or at cell group. And he actually posts the link to the online services and stuff. But I looked at that church and I didn't really give it any mind. Until one day I really needed a church to go to. Like, I was feeling a very, very strong unction to go to church and to be amongst other people and to be in and amongst the presence of God. So obviously what I did was I was literally about to message him, and then out of nowhere he messages me and invites me to church. And he didn't actually invite me to the main service. He invited me to a cell group, which they call U group, which occurs every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Right now it's closed, obviously, because of holidays and end of year and that kind of thing. So I went to this U group. It was just me. I was a little bit late, I think. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was on time. I was actually on time. For once in my life, I was on time for something. And he literally lives down the road from me. So went to his house. I knocked on the door. No one answered, so I just went in. Don't ask me why I did that. I just felt like I needed to go in. So I went in, and it was just him and 5 other people there. 5 or 6, or maybe even 7, because he had like a big, semi-big living room. And I went in, and yeah, he greeted me. It was a very long time. Last time I saw him was grade 7, and I think that was 2016 or 2017. A very, very, very long time ago, almost 7, 6, 8 years ago. So yeah, I saw him. We rekindled our friendship. That U group, that cell group that they call it, the cell group that they call a U group actually went amazingly. He was asking me questions and I was speaking and I was responding, and I really felt the presence of God in that room. And for me, I had never really felt that way before, because I did have cell group at my previous church, but that was online. And there's a massively, massively, massively big difference between being in the presence of God amongst other people face to face and trying to be in the presence of God online, because it says in his word that where 2 or more are gathered, there I will be, and there God will be. And I actually tried to take that verse and take that part of the Bible very seriously at around this time of my life 5 months ago, because I needed a community, a lot of people around me weren't Christian except for my girlfriend, who's the one who actually brought me closer to God in the first place. But I knew that I needed to. She had brought me a certain distance, and that was as far as she could go. Now I needed to go further. So the main way that I was able to go further is through this U group. And after the U group, after the cell group, I got I got more into contact with him. We started getting closer. He actually invited me to a coffee. They call it a meetup or coffee there in this new world that I was being introduced to. They call it a coffee. So I went, met up with him at a local mug and bean here. We had a bit of a coffee. We had chat about my relationship with God and where I was. And he actually really encouraged me because he told me that he was once at a spot where he didn't really have that drive to go to church. He didn't really have the drive to commit. And then he had an encounter with God. And I could positively say that he is someone that brought me way closer to God than I ever thought I would be. And I really felt the Spirit walking with him in that moment, because in that moment while I was in that coffee shop and we were talking, I was like, yo, why have I never taken this seriously? Because I always have these thoughts, I always had these sort of imaginations in my mind, especially while I'm in the shower, while I've got nothing to distract me, while I've got absolutely nothing to think about. I would think about what would happen if I took my relationship with God seriously. And I just want to check if it's still recording. So yes, I was always in a state of like, okay, what if I take my relationship with God seriously? What's gonna happen? And I would always imagine like life being good, but I never took that step. And I think I was stuck in that cycle of not taking that step for about 2 years. 2 years of my first year and second year of university. Probably just gave away my age now. But those 2 years, I was always in a cycle of like, okay, like what now? What's gonna happen if I take my relationship with God seriously? But I never did. I never took that step until this fire and this little flame that was in my heart started getting bigger, and God started annoying me. He was actually literally annoying me, but in a good way, telling me to come to him and seek him and lean on him. And it actually took me quite a while to break down those walls, break down those limiting beliefs that I had in myself to be able to commit. And I finally just decided to go all in for God. And the second week of the U group, I actually ended up getting baptized. And now I don't know if the rest of that was funny, but the funny part actually starts to come now. He actually asked me a week prior to, a few days prior, if I wanted to get baptized at the cell group, because he's got a pool in his backyard. So he asked me if I actually wanted to get baptized, and I told him, yo, no, I made up so many excuses. That resistance, like I'm borrowing the story right now, but that resistance that you feel, that resistance that when you want to take your relationship with God one step further, that resistance. I felt that resistance when he called me and told me, do you want to get baptized? Because yes, I want to get baptized. I'm getting closer to God and I feel this unction, and I know that this is the next step I need to take. It's a step that I should have taken a long time ago. But I was just delaying it and delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And now I have the opportunity to take it. He asked me a few days before the cell group, okay, I have a pool, we can get baptized. I'm always baptizing people. It's not that hard. And the excuse that I made for myself, I was like, no, I want my girlfriend to be there. I want my mom to be there. I want my dad to be there. I want my friends to be there. Like, I want everything to be perfect. That's the thing. I wanted my baptism to be perfect. And that actually leads me to another thing about perfectionism, which is probably a completely different video that I'm gonna make. But I wanted my baptism to be perfect. And looking back at it now, it's the first time I'm actually doing some proper, real self-introspection. I don't think that was, okay, yes, that was me to an extent, but I also feel like the devil was planting all these excuses in my head to make sure that I don't take that next step with God, because the devil knows that if I took that next step, I was gone. And that is exactly what ended up happening. Now I'm gone. I don't remember my old self. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I don't think I'm perfect. I don't think I ever will be perfect. The only one who's perfect is God. But I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to leaving my old ways behind me and to leaving the world behind me. And now I feel so focused. And okay, let me not get too into that. I often veer off. But yes, he asked me to get baptized. I made an excuse. I was like, no, I want to be with my family. I want to be with my friends. And he was like, he actually tried to like tell me, it's like, hey, you can never, there's never a perfect time. There's never, the right time to do certain things. And then he was just like, just do it. And then I was just like, I'll let you know. Wednesday, and then obviously I don't let him know. I'm just entrapped in my own excuses and my limiting beliefs, and that resistance that I was talking about. Let me just check if this is still recording. Okay, it actually stopped recording, and I don't know where it stopped. But I'm just gonna carry on from the baptism, because I did mention that pretty early, but I did veer off. Anyway, he asked me if I want to get baptized. I made an excuse, and I eventually Wednesday rolls around, cell group rolls around, and we're having the normal cell group service. I actually invited two of my best friends there to that service, and they actually agreed to come. I didn't think they would come, but they came, and I was so happy that they were there. They were there. They were speaking as well. They were replying. They were just taking everything in, and I was also there. And I just felt the presence of God in that place. And whenever I'm in that youth group, I always feel like I'm making steps. I always feel like I'm progressing. I always feel like I'm getting closer to God. But there was just one more step I needed to take, and that was the baptism. So the youth group rolls around. It's the end of the service. Guy, his name is Guy, by the way. My friend, yes, Guy, Guy, yeah. He makes an altar call, and he's like, if you want to give your life to Christ, I can baptize you right now. We were all in a circle, and then I felt a burning. I felt a burning sensation in my heart while he was asking this, and I was like, yo, I didn't even feel any of the excuses that I was normally feeling. All of the things that I'd usually feel, I didn't feel them. I just felt this burning sensation in my heart that I needed to do it. And just as he was about to be like, okay, since no one's putting up their hands, I'm just gonna end the service here. And then just as he was about to do that, I put my hand up. And then the rest is history. I ended up getting baptized, and that truly changed my life. And from that point onwards, after the baptism, he told me, hey dude, God is about to do incredible things in your life. Just watch this space. And it has been 5 months from now, and there's so many things that I want to say. There's so many changes that have happened in business, in my relationship with him, in school. School, that's a video for another day. But school, oh my gosh, God has come through for me in my university experience more than I could ever have imagined or ever have dreamed of. Not saying that I got cum laude or anything like that, but yeah, I'll explain that. But yeah, those three facets, and also in my just relationships with people in general, even though I've lost a few, and that just comes with prioritizing God. I do feel like it's building and I'm taking steps every single day to get closer to him. And that's part of the reason that I started this channel anyway, is to show, even though I'm 5 months in, I do want to show this journey, because God has done so much for me in those 5 months. Imagine what he could do in the next 5 months, in the next year. Stopped recording for some reason, but we are back. But yes, as I was speaking about before, I just wanted to document this journey, because imagine, God has done so much for me in these past 5 months, ever since I sacrificed my life for him. And now I'm just imagining like what he can do for me in the next year. So I'm hoping with this channel, I'm still at the very, very, very early stages of it. But if you've stuck around this long, I know this video is going to be long, like over 15 minutes. But if you stuck around this long, I just want to tell you that I am going to be here for you. If you want to speak to me, you can drop something in the comments or something, and we can talk about your relationship with God and how you can keep on moving forward with it. Yes, I'm not a professional. I'm still very, very early in this walk, but I do know how it feels to be lost. I know how it feels to have strayed away from God. That has happened to me too many times. But one thing that has happened even more times is that God has come and he has opened up his arms to me. I have come to him and he has welcomed me with open arms each and every single time. And that's a promise that he has made to me. And that's a promise that I want to convey to you, that if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't have the faith anymore, you may even have the faith, you may have a fire burning within you, but you just need that extra push to keep on going. I want to be that source for you and for everyone that I'm around, and I just want to have that positive impact on people. And I don't want to be thinking about what would have happened if I started posting. I just want to post, and I just want to be consistent, and I just want to make sure that I'm providing value to people. God has changed my life, not necessarily with materials, not necessarily financially, but spiritually and in my mind, psychologically, mentally. He has absolutely created a foundation, a very strong foundation that will lead me into bigger things with him. And that's a message that I want to convey to you today, is that God has a plan for you, and he has certain things that he's put in place for you to be able to succeed in whatever you're doing. You just need to have faith, and you just need to come to him every day and seek him every day and carry your cross every single day. So that's what I'm going to be here for. I'm probably going to cap the video off here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff to share this, to push this video out to other people. Other people may be struggling, so I just want to be a light unto people. I want to stop dimming myself, and I want to spread God's kingdom, spread his word, so that other people can come to him and be saved. So yeah, see you.